football. Welcome to the best sports betting show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today. It is Football Friday. Love Football Fridays. We got everything you need for a massive, massive weekend. We've got NFL. We've got college football. We've got Survivor. We've got Super Contest. All the sharp info you need to get locked in. We're going to spice things up with the wing sauce of the week from Marco. Teddy and I are going to square off in another round of Sell Me. It's all happening today. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get into it. We got Gianni coming up with the Steam report. Teddy's going to break down Raiders, Commanders, South Carolina, and Missouri. Marco's going to break down Rams, Eagles, Auburn, and Oklahoma. Kelly in Vegas is going to join us to talk about the football contests. And then myself and Dan, we survived. So we are on to week 3 in Survivor Pool. We will share those picks with you. Let's get started with Gianni. While we're doing that, hit that like button. Really, really appreciate you guys for joining us. Ooh, looking good in the red. I like the red on you, Gianni. That looks sharp,
all
man.
All right. Yeah, well, fire.
Everybody's feeling it on Football Fridays.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked a lot about some of the lines yesterday. A lot of them have kind of held true. Let's go over some of them, and let's start with the big boy. Let's start with NFL. What do we see in line-wise? And by the way, last night, what did we see? The sharp money that came back on Miami ended up covering, but all those teasers, money lines on Bills ended up getting through. So, interesting.
Yeah, what a game that was. Worked out well for me in my 5% big move on Miami.
Oh, nice.
Sweat a little bit. You got to sweat a little bit, but at halftime, I thought the sprinkle might come in. We haven't seen too much of a change. Yesterday was the college football day. Thursdays, those college football totals. Limits get increased, and you start to see the college football lines move in the afternoon. If you ever want to follow some Steam line movements on Thursday, our time, probably around 1 p.m. our time, 4 p.m. Eastern, you'll start to see the totals get hit. Pay attention to those. But in the NFL, the only thing I could really give not much has changed from yesterday, but the Colts continue to get money. The Falcons continue to get money. And you could tell from what was tied in yesterday, like the Bills money line parlays, the Bills teaser, like you touched on, that cash, and they're tying them into for where was the biggest one? Wait, there was one that really stuck out.
Green Bay, possibly.
No, where was that? Oh, Monday night, the Ravens at home. Like they're already going to Monday against Detroit. So even though that line's dropping for whatever reason, They like the Ravens on Monday night. That stuck out a lot. And who else? The Rams. Don't tell me why against the Eagles. But they're taking the Rams up. They're taking the Rams up. So those two stuck out yesterday from the Bills. Again, the NFL action, mostly like Saturday and Sunday morning, you'll start to see a lot of the movement. Because, again, it's the look ahead gets bet, and then Monday they kind of settle. Everyone has their line out. If you look at the screen, it'll look pretty much the same across the board. Then may get hit, and then it's not till late in the week, like after injury updates and injury reports are confirmed, and then if public money knocks some of those lines out of whack. Because I'll say it again, public money far outweighs sharp money when it comes to the NFL. And if they're getting so much risk on one side, they're going to be forced to move the line. Like we kind of saw that yesterday, even though you touched on like sharps were on Miami, it was still holding true and even went up before kickoff because of all that Bills risk that the books had. So pretty much in the NFL, looking the same until we head into the weekend.
My guess is that Ravens money is Lamar Jackson's record against NFC teams. What is he, like 24-4?
Yeah, and home.
Something
Monday
crazy.
Night home, Baltimore. And I told you, a guy I really respect in the NFL, he's got them as the top team, power rated wise. Says nobody would be favored over Baltimore on neutral field. So
interesting. Let's move to college football. Tons of action on Saturday. I'm sure the lines are starting to jostle around and move a little bit.
Yep.
What are you seeing?
And that's where we did see some of those totals get hit yesterday. We saw the Oregon State get steamed over. I think that was a Raz play, over 55 and a half, I believe. I'm sure that's gone now. What else can I give you that got hit yesterday? Arizona State, Baylor over 59 and a half and 60. Kent State, Florida State under 56 and 55. I like that one. Troy Buffalo over 42 and a half, Western Michigan plus 14 and a half. And here's an added board game for you. Over Columbia Lafayette, good to over 51. Now, looking at a couple we touched on yesterday, East Carolina, we talked about them getting steamed at 7.5 and 7. I'm seeing it getting public money on East Carolina at 6.5 right now. So again, that's a much different number than what the Sharps got in on at 7.5, and now taking the 6.5 on East Carolina. And Wisconsin's all the way up to 10, and they haven't gotten any buyback from the betting syndicates, but the recreational bettors aren't taking the 10. So that's limiting the risk for the books. As long as the game doesn't land 8 or 9, they're gold there. North Texas, again, Army continues to get faded, as we touched on, and Michigan, sharp money on Michigan opposite the public there. So thanks, Star. Thanks. Glad you guys cashed on that Miami yesterday. So a little college football action for you as we head into a nice weekend.
Well, I asked Dave Mason after you had left yesterday. I asked him about a game like Bills and Dolphins. He said it's really tough. How do you put the spread when you have so much money on the teaser, on the money line, and then you get people like yourself, the Sharps, coming in and taking Miami? It's worst case scenario for them. He said it's really, really difficult. They struggle with it.
And like I got in at 12.5, and I knew it was going to move down. And I let my guys know, up as long as you're getting 11.5, you're good for 5% move. Because I thought that at 10 would have been pushing it at what the true line would have been. I thought it should have been lower than that, and it's set up nicely. But in my sharpest out had it at 11 when others were still at 11.5, so I felt good about that. But like I said, yesterday when I saw the line creeping back up, that was worrisome a little bit. But when I looked in the back end and saw the overwhelming Bills money just kept coming in, I said, okay, that's the reason for it. It's not like somebody's coming in and steaming Buffalo.
Yeah. Let's move to baseball here. I looked over the spot. We got pretty good amount of games.
Yeah.
We're kind of to the point where some teams are pretty much done with the season. They've packed it in. They got their vacations planned. What are we seeing on some of these baseball lines?
Yeah, and like I touched on, one of the groups I work with, actually two of the groups that I work with have stopped betting baseball until the playoffs come. Like, I mean, they may hedge some of their season win totals and stuff like that. But they've actually stopped. They say, they won this many units for the year. It's just a lot of randomness now with so many replacement players coming up, coupled with what you touched on, teams out of it. Where's the motivation? It's hard enough to quantify motivation in Major League Baseball during the season, let alone when teams are playing for absolutely nothing. But does the youth care? So there's a lot of factors to consider. So I can't fault them for stopping, betting baseball till the playoffs get here. But they are attacking some of those dogs, and I think they're looking at those matchups that appear like coin flips, and if you can get plus money, they're getting down. Perfect example, 906 St. Louis plus 110, also under 7.5 at even money. 916 Kansas City plus 125, and then 922 Pittsburgh plus 105. Like I said, hasn't been heavy steam so far in Major League Baseball. Not even a lot of the overnights got attacked. But some of the one-sided public games that are sticking out, because again, the recreational bettors are still betting baseball. They're just not doing it like they were during the summer, where they're straight betting and really putting action. They're parlaying pretty much every single night. And the ones that are sticking out today, no surprises, LA Dodgers over San Francisco is one of the heavier one-sided that I see in all the parlays. Texas over Miami, is in all the parlays. Yeah, those two stick out the most. Dodgers and Texas, even more than the Mets, which is a 2-1 favorite. The Dodgers and Texas stick out more. Those are parlayed with everything in Major League Baseball from the recreational bettors.
Yeah, I mean, it's the weirdest time of year. I mean, the hottest team in do you know the hottest team in baseball right now? I didn't even know it until I looked on the free picks page. Look, the Cleveland Guardians have won 12 out of 13 games. The Guardians.
Go Indians. Go Indians.
they're yeah. What's so crazy about it is they're now only 3.5 games behind Detroit. Who would have predicted that like 2 weeks ago? Yeah. So just the end of the season, it's very, very strange what happens there. So, yeah, take that for what it's worth. So, yeah, nice job, Gianni, on that 5% last night on Miami.
Thank you, brother.
That's a bold stance to take going into
it was
the
5% on Miami, the way they look, and Buffalo rolling.
It was great.
We just got under the number, but I'll take it. A cover's a cover.
Absolutely. What do you have up for everyone this weekend?
Yeah, I have tonight's college football. I love those primetime standalone games. I've had really good success with those so far this season. It's early, but I'll take it. I have tonight's college football primetime. I have a Saturday package up loaded with 4%. Here's what sucks, that I lost my college football 5%. And I feel like there's a play or two that even warrant that kind of bet, but I don't want to look like, like you're chasing. So this Saturday's package is really strong. Like some plays warrant it's the more data we're getting, the better the results will be. And so far results are really good. So college football package is up, NFL package is up for Sunday. And we're just going to keep grinding, man. Just keep doing damage. So like I said, number one in profit, NFL, college football combined. And let's just keep doing it. Steam Room Sunday, leading hour into kickoff. And if you like money, jump on board. I think it's $100 off.
Oh, nice. All right, Gianni the Greek, we got Steam Room, all this football plays up. Thank you so much. It's been a great week of segments.
Thanks,
Have a great
Andy.
weekend, Gianni. Yep. Let's see. We got Teddy covers SF Niner. I don't think we've heard from SF Niner all week in the chat. Comes around, says all around the world yesterday was awful, and then asks if I'm drinking chocolate milk. No, I'm not drinking chocolate milk. It's my iced coffee. It's a necessity to have right now. Let's bring in Teddy covers. I see he's sipping on something. I'm guessing it's not chocolate milk. Although, I got to tell you, chocolate milk sounds damn good right now. Now I'm thirsty. I want some chocolate milk.
Yeah, I have 2 or 3 glasses of chocolate milk every morning, to get me going. Sure.
I would weigh 400 pounds if I did that every single morning. But man, Anyway, all right, Teddy, we got a lot to get to here. We got an NFL game breakdown. We got a college football game breakdown. Then we're going to play Sell Me, where Dan comes on, picks a game, assigns you and I a side. We have to duke it out. Let's start in the NFL with the Raiders and the Commanders. Jaden Daniels injury news. Does it matter? Does it not matter? What's your breakdown on this game?
Sure. So with the Raiders and the Commanders, all right, it's 2 teams, to be perfectly frank. I don't know that I trust either one of them. All right. So it's a pick your poison type of ballgame. Now, Mariota has filled in okay for Jaden Daniels. That being said, this Washington, Mariota's a career backup and Daniels is an emerging young star. So there's a significant difference between the 2 QBs, and the point spread obviously telling us that with the money coming for Las Vegas after the injury concerns for Washington. And of course, looking at the Odds Logic live odds screen right now, I'm seeing mostly 3 for the Commanders. Total sitting 44. There are some 43.5s and 44.5s out there. And Washington, the oldest team in the league this year. All right. I thought that was an issue for them last Thursday night when they went to Green Bay and were really outplayed, outprepared, outclassed. Nothing worked for them. It was still a 1-score game in the fourth quarter. They had a chance to come in under the number and make things interesting. Couldn't get it done. Offensive line injury for Washington, defensive injury for Washington. This isn't a team I'm excited about laying points with. That said, it's a Raiders team coming off. I mean, let's call it what it was on Monday night. That was a pretty ugly showing. I mean, certainly on the offensive side of the football, the defense played well. And the defense of these units is the one that we trust less to have back-to-back good games, especially against a Washington team that didn't play well. A lot of criticism for Geno Smith and his interception in that ballgame. A lot of criticism of Pete Carroll not running Ashton Junty enough for the Raiders. So there's certainly these concerns for Las Vegas right now. And when you talk about a team that hasn't won, now going east for an early start game, injury problems, and the chirpings there, that's a concern for me. Again, so this isn't a load up to the window game, back the dump truck, back the Brinks truck up to the window and bet a bunch of money. This is not one of my stronger opinions. It's not a client play. But I have to play this game right now at -3. The only way I can play it is the home team, not the road dog. I worry about Vegas in the travel spot. I worry about the early start game. I worry about the injuries on both sides of the football. And I worry that maybe they're not, I don't think they're the better of the two teams. Even though for the full season, I like Raiders over their win total, Commanders under their win total. Week 3, Washington's not as banged up as they're going to be. I lean to the favorite here at -3 or less.
Let's move to college football here. Week 4, South Carolina versus Missouri here. I believe we're dealing with another quarterback injury in this game. What's your breakdown here? Missouri, big time favorites here, -10, over under 48.5.
Yeah, let's just check the current number on that Missouri. A little bit, we've seen the money went for Missouri early on, and then back to South Carolina. Now we're seeing there are 9.5s out there, 10, the prevailing number for the Tigers against the Gamecocks. And with this one, I really want to start with the concept. Basic strategy in college football, twofold for me. One, buy low, sell high. You're looking to bet against teams that will look great and may not be quite as great, and bet on teams that may be coming off a real rough showing. The second concept I'm looking for in college football, maybe the more important of the two, I'm looking for misleading statistical profiles that I can bet the other way. This game features both of those possibilities. All right, Missouri, number 4 in offensive yards per game, number 6 in points per game. They've beaten up on Louisiana, Kansas, and Central Arkansas, none of whom are elite on the defense side of the football, to put it mildly. And even that Kansas game comes with an asterisk. Remember, the final score was 42-31 Missouri. Kansas was leading that game with less than 5 minutes left, and Missouri's final touchdown run came on a 63-yard scamper where they were just trying to get a first down and take a knee to run out the clock. And, of course, Jayhawks defense, not their strong point. So it's a Missouri team that's getting a lot of love. Their statistical profile looks good. Maybe it's time to sell high before SEC play begins. Meanwhile, South Carolina, the Week 1 win over Virginia Tech, not particularly impressive, and is devalued even more after the Hokies lost at home to Old Dominion by margin and fired Brett Pry after last week's game. South Carolina, Week 2. Everyone hated the box score for the Gamecocks. Sorry, against South Carolina State. They had 3 punt return touchdowns the first 2 weeks. And I want to talk about special teams touchdowns. In my mind, this is a meaningful concept when we talk about college football and the NFL both, but college football in particular. All right. When you have a punt return touchdown, what happens to your statistics? Well, you don't get a drive on offense. All right. So it deflates your offensive numbers. You can't gain yards when your special team just scored a touchdown. What happens on defense? It affects those stats too. Your opponent gets back-to-back possessions, the second one coming against a tired defense that just came off the field. So good special teams make statistical profiles look bad. Teams that win the field position battle because of good special teams, teams that scored non-offensive touchdowns, which is the epitome of Beamer ball, they're undervalued in the markets because their statistical profiles don't look as good as they should. And then, of course, last week, South Carolina, Sellers got hurt. They got bombed at home against Vandy. Everything went wrong. What a disaster. All right, dropped out of the AP top 25, couldn't score more than a touchdown. The backup couldn't do anything. This is a buy low opportunity for South Carolina, just like it's a sell high opportunity. And, oh, by the way, Sellers returned to practice on Thursday. The markets expect him to play, and obviously, without him, the offense is not one that we trust. Worth noting, Beamer and the Gamecocks, 3-0 straight up, 3-0 ATS, I'd say, as road dogs last year. They beat Clemson. They beat Kentucky. They lost by only 2 at Bama. And they also won at Oklahoma in a pick'em price game as well on the highway. We like this team. Away from home, buy low, sell high. Give me South Carolina plus the points in Missouri on Saturday.
I like it. I've been meaning to ask you, do you have a strong opinion on the new kickoffs? Is it affecting the handicapping at all? And I would assume, if anything, it might be on totals. Are these teams getting better field position here to start off? Dallas, they start off on the 35. They got 15 yards and they're in field goal range. It feels like there's just a better field position. Is it affecting the handicapping on any of these totals so far?
Absolutely. When you talk about, certainly when you talk about the NFL, all right, and this is something that Kelly and I talked about on the NFL opening line report live right here on WagerTalk TV every Monday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time, bright and early. We want to get out in front of the line move, so we go 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. every Monday. If you don't watch it live, watch the replay, but you'll miss stuff. I encourage you to watch it live. But conceptually, all right. No, I got lost there where I was in my promo. What are we talking about?
The kickoffs.
Oh, the kickoffs.
The teams are getting these better possession.
This chocolate milk's not working nearly as well as the caffeine usually does. But we talked about it on Monday's open line report, how the new kickoff rules absolutely affect totals. You have multiple factors in play. First, it comes out to the 35. If you have and we're seeing longer kick returns than we've ever seen, or at least in modern NFL history. So the average field position is better than it was. Between the 40s in the NFL, that's where coaches go for it on fourth downs. When you have an over, you like coaches going for it on fourth downs. If you get the fourth down conversion, it often leads to a touchdown. If you don't, your opponent gets good field position. So you have longer returns leading to shorter fields. You have the fact that kickers, 50 yards, a chip shot now, 55 yard, 60 yard, doesn't matter. So you have longer field goals, you have more fourth down going forward attempts, and you have shorter yards to gain before you get to the field goal range. All those factors together make me think the little run of overs we saw, and again, last week, it wasn't crazy because all 3 TV games stayed under, on Sunday night and the 2 Monday night games. We still went 10-6 to the over in week 2, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more of the same this coming Sunday. My only total play for the clients this week is on an over. I'm not looking to play unders in the current environment unless there's a real darn good reason.
Okay, all right, yeah, it makes sense. Didn't the NFL, weren't they trying to get rid of kickoffs for injuries?
Yeah.
Now there's more kickoffs now than there's ever been.
But it was the players running for 50 yards in a sprint and then smashing into each other.
Okay.
That was the problem, and now there's less smashing into each other at top speed.
Now they're running 20 yards and smashing into each other. Problem fixed. Problem fixed. All right, Teddy, you mentioned opening line report. We're going to do sell me, but tell everyone what you have up for this weekend. Big weekend of football.
Sure, absolutely. Locked and loaded in the NFL already. Got 3 plays up for a Sunday, including a top total and a 4% best bet. Game of the week. And in addition, the college football card will be posted. I was waiting and I didn't get it done before we went on here. I'll be posting the college card within the next few minutes after we get off the air. So check out my homepage, wt.buzz/TC. Don't buy any plays. Get on board with this weekend warrior package. It's a really good deal. $49 every play, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, all football plays. And there's nothing more to buy. There's no bait and switch or bigger selections, anything like that. $49. The Weekend Warrior package. Get it right now on my homepage, wt.buzz/TC.
All right, let's bring on Dan. Let's play Sell Me. If you haven't watched this segment before, it's very simple. Dan picks a game in the NFL, and then he gives Teddy a team, gives me a team, and we have to figure out and make the case for each one of them, and you guys tell us who you agree with. All right, Dan, what's the game?
Yes, gentlemen, we are back again for another rousing edition of Sell Me, and I think everyone's going to be watching this game because unfortunately it's going to be the only game on. That's right. Sell me the side in the Kansas City Chiefs and New York Giants. Teddy, last week You had to make the case why my Philadelphia Eagles would beat the Kansas City Chiefs and cover, and great breakdown on that one. Andy, you're always batting second whenever we're doing this, so I'm actually going to give you the lead, and because you get to go first, unfortunately, you have to break down why the Giants could potentially be covering. This one's basically 6 painted. There's a rogue 5.5 out there at a public book, but we're basically looking at 6 across the board here. So, Andy, Russell Wilson at home. Russell Wilson coming off an amazing game that ended how Russell Wilson games usually end, with an interception. So why will this game maybe end a little bit different? And New York Giants maybe getting the cover here. Back-to-back weeks, Andy. Sell me the side of the New York Giants.
So you give me the Eagles against the Chiefs, and
it's starting to stack up. This is a fair point, Andy.
What is it? Okay, so I have to make the case for the Giants. Okay, well, Kansas City is not scoring a lot of points, so I get a team that's only put up 17 and 21, and so in order to cover big spreads, you got to score a lot of points. Who's Patrick Mahomes throwing to? Travis Kelce? Travis Kelce has cost them 2 games and a wide receiver. It's like the worst stat line ever. He's dropped the ball. He's taken out their fastest, healthiest wide receiver. You got Travis Kelce yelling at people on the sidelines. And we saw Russell Wilson be able to keep it close against an explosive offense. And this defense of the Giants is absolutely terrible. They're going to give up 1 million yards. Or are they? This Chiefs offense is absolutely sputtering. My biggest case for the Giants is that the Chiefs cannot blow teams out. They're just looking for a win, Dan, at this point. There ain't no style points. They cannot go 0-3. Just get a win, get out. I get the Chiefs to win, but the Giants to cover with Russell Wilson fighting for his job. You got a new running back, Scattaboo. You got this defensive line that can put pressure on Mahomes, and Mahomes is not throwing to anybody. And, oh, by the way, he's their leading rusher. That's not great. So all signs point to the Giants covering this game.
Teddy, why would he not have led with the Giants can't do the tush push? Because according to Adam Schefter and all the pundits, that's the only reason that the Chiefs lost, was because the Eagles can do the tush push. That should have been the lead there, Andy. But Teddy, going on the road, Kansas City looking for life, but laying 6. Sell me that side, Mr. Theodore Covers.
Sure. Well, I mean, the concept here, if we're looking for, tell me this pencil, sell me Kansas City. Do you pay attention to the NFL? One team's going to the Super Bowl, has been to the Super Bowl. The other team is a bottom feeder. Okay. And all the Giants want to do is get to the Jackson Dart era. Kansas City's defense is not Dallas' defense. Oh, Russell Wilson's throwing the football around. Sure. That was against the team they played last week, not the team they're going to play this week. And one thing I don't want to do, I mean, of all the reasons to play the Giants, or not to play the Giants, I don't want to step in front of this championship pedigree team with an 0-2 record. All right. Their season's on the line right here. So you're not just getting Kansas City, the regular Kansas City. You're getting Kansas City focused with their season on the line. And that, we know how good they are in 1-score games. This ain't a 1-score game. This is we're going to beat the tar out of you. I wouldn't mind laying some alternative point spreads here. Minus 14.5, minus 21.5. Yeah, you can have your G-men all you want.
Oh, there's a bell. They say once he starts throwing out the alt lines, Andy, the bell starts ringing. Comment below and let us know which side you're betting in Sunday Night Football, because let's be real, 90% of the people watching this program will be betting that game. So now you got a breakdown on the Kansas City Chiefs and New York Giants. Teddy, on the way out quick, let them know one more time about that Weekend Warrior special, because it's good for everyone. Marco coming up right behind you. Whoever you want to get, it's a hell of a deal, man.
Sure. Don't buy plays, guys. Buy packages. Get on board and let a capper show you what they can do. Plays will lose sometimes. Packages will lose sometimes. But I encourage you, if you want to get on board, this is a great opportunity. It gets you every play in football all weekend long. Saturday college, Sunday NFL, Monday night. Nothing more to buy. No bait switch. And it's $49. It's a reasonable price to get on board with every play for the weekend. Weekend Warrior package available on my page, wt.buzz/TC, and all the pages. Just visit WagerTalk.com to get on board, and no limit. You want me? You want Marco? You want us both? Get Gianni too. Weekend Warrior packages, $49. WagerTalk.com.
Awesome stuff, Teddy. Thank you so much. Opening Line Report continues to be one of the best shows around, so check that out on Monday mornings. So absolutely ridiculous, dude. Hey, Teddy, make the case for the defending Super Bowl champs and the dynasty in back-to-back weeks.
Well, Andy, the other game was about to be the Chicago Bears against the Dallas Cowboys, so I may have done you both a favor. Pick it.
It's true. It's true. All right. Well, I love that segment. All right, let's bring on Marco. Marco's going to bring us our wing sauce of the week, but we're going to talk about some games here before. Marco, how are you so far this week?
I'm doing good. Coming off a very enjoyable evening last night, 3-0 night. Two of the plays I got to witness in person last night at Michelob Light Arena with the Las Vegas Aces. We had two player props that continue to just disbelief of what we're doing with the WNBA. We cashed them both in the third quarter again. Really fun with that, and then talk about a thrilling game last night between the Aces and the Seattle Storm. And you guys had a little excitement there with your WNBA team too.
Well, your prop had to be Asia Wilson to over everything, shoot all the shots. Was that one of your props?
Well, the first prop it was kind of a correlated deal for me. And again, this is why we talk about the prop market. For the WNBA is so inadequate, okay, because these guys just look at averages. They don't understand matchups. They don't understand, what's going to happen. And I opened up my first prop with, when the backs are against the wall, it's win or go home. You're going to ride your horse. And that horse is the MVP, Asia Wilson. So, yes, we were on Asia for her point total over. But I said, if you're going to ride Asia, okay, what do? You got to have somebody get her the basketball. I took Chelsea Gray, who's the quarterback of the team, and she's been on a tear with assists over the last 10 games. That I took her player prop plus the assist to go over 15.5, and she was over that, early because she was dishing the ball down low, getting the ball to Asia. Asia can't get the ball to herself. Okay, that's the thing with the big play, a big arson, inside. So. It was a fun night, but what an ending to that game.
Yeah, listen, this is fun. I'm wondering if they're regretting shutting down Caitlin Clark as early as they did. Now Fever move on without her. So, but let's talk some football here, Marco. We're gonna go over Rams, Eagles, Auburn, Oklahoma, and you're gonna give us our sauce of the week. Let's do Rams and Eagles. Fascinating game. We know what happened last time these two teams met here. Phillies -3. Over under set at 45.5. I personally think the narrative about the Philly passing game is quite laughable. Picking apart the Super Bowl winner and the guy that's won a million games in a row starting, to me, is kind of interesting. But boy, the Rams had a great game plan for them. How do you break this game down?
Well, I got to start with, in Philadelphia has done everything asked of them. But let's be honest. How much can you ask of a team to start a season? This is the third high-profile game in a row. They started the season with the Thursday night game, as the Super Bowl champs always do. You raise the banner and all that, and everybody's, high-fiving everyone. It's an exciting situation. You had a little bit of the air taken out in that game. If you remember, the first half of that game was a track meet. Okay, they went up and down the field, both them and Dallas. It was, I think, 21-20 at the half, and then there was only 3 points scored in the second half. Then you've got Philadelphia off of that, feel-good game, get your rings and everything, to go on the road and relive the Super Bowl again, the team you just beat. So another high-profile game, physical game. Dogfight, could have went either way. We know what happened with the tip pass and everything in the end zone for Kansas City. Tush push comes through again for Philadelphia, as it always does. Now they got to return home off of those two games to face another high-profile team who they beat to get to the Super Bowl. Philadelphia beats the Rams in the playoffs last year. And I always say, revenge is the most overused term in sports betting, except certain situations. And you always remember the team that ended your season, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles for the Rams. I think the Rams, this is the great spot for them. And I know It's a little bit of obviously an overreaction to the offense with Philadelphia, but you can't deny the fact that we've gone now 6 quarters for the Philadelphia Eagles where they have not done a lot offensively. Granted, one of them was a good defense, Kansas City. The other one, the week before last week, just made Russell Wilson look like a Hall of Famer throwing for 400 and some yards against them. I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams in this one, plus the points. I think they get their revenge. It's going to be another dogfight. But remember, the Rams had an opportunity to win that game last year in Philadelphia.
I love it. Russell Wilson with the stats and the loss. Jalen Hurts just takes the win. I'll gladly take the win. A lot going on there. All right, big game here in college football. Auburn versus Oklahoma. We got a revenge. Do you call it revenge spot from a personal standpoint, since we just talked about revenge? Oklahoma -7, over under 46.5. What's your breakdown on this game?
Yeah, this is an interesting game. Obviously, Oklahoma's looked very good so far, but, they've only had one true test, and that was, against Michigan. And I was on Oklahoma in that game against Michigan, and one of the reasons why is because I wasn't buying all of the love for the Michigan quarterback, Bryce Underwood. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good quarterback. I'm saying it was his second start, and it was on the road on a Saturday night in a hostile environment. Until you show me you can do that, I can't get excited about you yet. And that's why I was on Oklahoma, and they handled him. They win the game by 11 points. Now in comes Auburn. All right, the Auburn quarterback, as you alluded to, Jackson Arnold, is going to be a little interesting. He was the quarterback for Oklahoma last year. So what is going to transpire here? But going back to, Norman, he'll be okay, I feel. But more importantly, he's already had a road test this year. Remember, they opened the season on a Friday night at Baylor. The entire world loved Baylor in that spot because everybody's saying, oh, what's he going to do? He flamed out at Oklahoma. Okay, all right. The offense was very good in that game at Baylor. I was on Auburn. I like that outcome. I think they're going to be okay here as well. Not quite sold on how good Oklahoma is or isn't yet. This will be a true test, but we're looking at the touchdown. And if you look at the market, a couple of the sharper books have moved this game back to 6.5. And I really take notice whenever you're talking about the key numbers. When you get a game that you're hovering on a 7 and it goes either north or south of that, it's going to take serious money or respected money to do that. And so I'm going to tell you, I lean to Auburn in this game. And I'm also going to tell you, sometimes I tell you grab a number right away or wait for a better number. Grab it now. I think if this thing moves off of 7, it is going to continue with the 6.5s that we're starting to see. So grab Auburn now, get that full touchdown. I think it's going to go right down to the final possession of the game. And if I think it's a 1-possession game and I can get the full touchdown, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's funny whenever the narrative is the revenge, they never bring up the other side. It's like, well, if they played there before, the team could. Never mind. I hate the revenge angle in most cases. It's laughable. All right, let's do the wing sauce of the week, Marco. Last week, you compared the Connecticut team to the garlic parm wing sauce. What's your sauce this week, and who's the team?
Okay, well, we're going to have a team, but we're going to more have a coach. Okay.
Oh, this is great.
Okay. All right. We're going to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars, or as I'm calling them this week, the Jacksonville Jagoffs. Okay. All right. Liam Cohen. All right. Life is filled with decisions. Okay. You got to make them every day. And sometimes you make good decisions and you make bad decisions. And I'm going to not bore you with the entire game. I'm going to fast forward to the fourth quarter of this game, but I'm going to tell you that the entire time of this game, Jacksonville was either up outright a touchdown, they were plus 3.5, or the game was tied the entire game. Okay. They have first and goal inside the 10. 3 plays they run. Game is tied at the moment, late in the fourth, or tied at 24. They get stopped 3 incomplete passes inside the 10-yard line. So they kick the field goal like you're supposed to do. They go up 27-24. Since he gets the ball, we get a turnover. We drive it down the field once again. We're under 5 minutes in driving. We have 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. 3 more plays they run, we get nothing. It's 4th and 5. 4th and 5. Okay, it's a 3-point game, 3 minutes and change left in the game. It's decision time. What do you do? Do you want to have them have the ball at the 9-yard line, start a drive? Remember, Cincinnati lost Joe Burrow earlier in the game as well, okay? Or do you want to try to put the game away and get the touchdown? Well, let's see. You just had 3 plays. It's 4th down. You just ran the previous series 1st and goal inside the 10 and ran 3 plays and got nothing. So that's 6 consecutive plays that you haven't been able to gain yardage. No, we don't kick the field goal. We're going to go for it instead of going up 6. Now, I understand if you go up 6, the math guys will tell you, well, a touchdown still beats you. Yeah. But you can kick a field goal, as you guys alluded to, from 60 yards anymore to tie the game if you don't make it. You're forcing the other team with the backup quarterback to score a touchdown. And, just in case if he does score a touchdown, you're down 1 point if you get the ball back, that you could kick a 60-yard field goal to win the game if your defense lets you down. Liam Cohen went for it in another incomplete pass. And what happened? 93-yard drive by Cincinnati to win by 4, 31-27, in the only time that I was not covering the game, plus 3.5. So I say life decisions, we're going with the ghost pepper sauce. You
Yes.
think you can handle it. And then you make that decision. And then later that night, and I'll let you figure out where you're at in your house later in that night, that decision comes back to burn you like you burned me, Liam Cohen. F you, Jaguars. That's my sauce of the week.
We were watching that game live on Sunday on EndZone Live, and that was brutal. It was about as brutal a loss as it gets. Is inconceivable. Inconceivable.
Do
they
you
did that.
do you consider kicking the field goal there, or do you consider?
I
going for
100%
it?
kick the field goal. You trust the backup to try and go get you a touchdown. You go up 6 points. I know Kelly's coming on right after us, and I know her thing kicking is for losers. I'll get her her opinion, but I would kick the field, go up 6, and make Jake Browning go down and score a touchdown. But that's just me. Whatever. So, all right, Marco, great segment. We got the Weekend Warrior pass going. It's only $49 for football. What do you have up for everyone this weekend?
Well, we're going to have another 5% play this weekend. Last weekend, if you took advantage of that Weekend Warrior package, we went 3-1 on Saturday, 2-1 on Sunday, and that 2-1 on Sunday just told you who the 1 was. It should have been 3-0. Okay, so that would have been a pretty sweet week. The icing on the cake was our 5% play. Now 32-13 with those 5% plays. Well, that was as fun as it could be. We had a 5% play on North Texas -6, a 59-10 winner, no sweat. I didn't have to lose any more hair. I can't afford to. That was an easy win. So take the Weekend Warrior. But I'm going to tell you about a special that we have that's going with myself and VR Gianni. It's the perfect 1-2 punch, okay? Ace is off to a great start this football season. I am the number 2 handicapper in Money One, college and pro, the last 2 seasons. And why I say we're a great 1-2 punch, VR is going to give you volume. If you want a lot of action, VR's got you covered. You know that from listening to the Steam reports and everything. I'm more selective. I like, my meat and potatoes. I want to, get the 4 or 5 best games on a Saturday and, 3 games on Sunday and attack hard. Great compliment to the 2 of us. You can get both of us through the Super Bowl, all of our college and pro football selections. Both of us for $11.98. It's a special we're running. It's the Bet On It team. Head on over to WagerTalk. You can find that special on either my page or VR's page and get both of us for $11.98.
Love it, Marco. That's a great pairing. That's a great combo. Congratulations on that. That's gonna be a home run. I know it. So great segment on the wing sauce. Appreciate you. You're a big part of Football Fridays. Good luck. Have a great weekend.
All right. Good luck to you guys.
All right, we've been talking about Weekend Warrior. I've got my prop pack that is up. We've hit 58% winners this season in these props. We came off a loss last night. We had Ray Davis over his rushing yards. He didn't even get close, but this is why we put in the volume that we do. We decided to go higher volume, lower percentages. It's worked. 58%. It's sustainable. This is why we like this winning percentage. It's not too high. It's profitable, and we can do this throughout the entire season. We also have our college football best bet that's up, 64% lifetime winners on college football. It is our team total of the week. Love this play. The line is still holding strong on this team total, and this is going to be a really nice Saturday cash. So use a Weekend Warrior. If you want to get each individual pack, that's fine. You just want to pick one. But again, the Weekend Warrior, I already see a couple of you have gotten it today. So first off, thank you, and let's cash this weekend. Speaking of cashing this weekend, let's bring in Kelly. Let's talk super contest here, Kelly. Are you still standing by the kicking is for losers?
Yeah, I was on the Jags. That was really, really painful. I had a couple of really wonky losses, and one that actually went my way. Speaking of kicking is for losers, maybe the referees had a little to do with the Colts winner, but I will take it.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to take the good with the bad. And look, 90% of the time I feel like that doesn't go my way, so I will gladly accept the gift from the gambling gods.
How many times in your lifetime are you going to be able to say, I won because of leveraging a leverage call?
Never.
That's never going to happen.
I don't know if I've ever even heard that penalty called.
Well, if it is, it feels like it's always like at the end of the game in a crucial field goal. Like they'll never call it in the first quarter, but if the game's on the line, the ref's like, hey, look at me leveraging.
That is exactly what John Murray says all the time on the show. It's like the ref show. Like, look at me. I haven't been relevant this entire game. I'd like to make it about myself. So thank you for them doing that, at least for your Colts. And my only super contest play winner, actually.
Well,
no, I take it back. I had Baltimore. That's right. I didn't end up using the Colts in the super contest. Andy, picking 5 games a week is hard. I never even bet 5 NFL games in a week. So like, you're like, hey, I need another play. And I'm like, Andy, I got 24 hours till deadline. Fine. Give me Baltimore. And it was the only winner I had.
I'm doing the free one on Bet Online just to try. It's hard. It's a free contest, and I struggle with it. So let's go over your picks for this week. Let's walk through these. Boy, you're taking point. You're betting on the Browns and the Saints.
I'm picking the 3 ugliest dogs that I think have a chance to win outright this week.
It's week 3. It's week 3. I feel like week 3 and week 4 is when the really wonky stuff happens. So let's start with the Browns. What do you see in there?
Yeah, those 0-2 underdogs, Andy. There was a little graphic going around on social media early in the week, which is also coincidentally why I took the Bills last night in Survivor, is because I just want to cheer for chaos this weekend. This is the weekend, and next weekend is the weekend it happens. Last year, it just happened to be weeks 1 and 2. I think this year it's going to be weeks 3 and 4. Browns, look. Week 1, should have probably beat the Bengals. Didn't get it done. It was an unfortunate, ugly loss. Did that carry over against the Ravens? Ravens defense deserves a ton of credit. Ravens offense was not anything to write home about. That final score, I don't think was indicative of how the game was actually played. Ask Ariel Epstein. She's a Ravens fan, and she was cussing them the entire game. I'm like, they're up double digits. She's like, you're not watching. She's correct. I only watch games that I either have action on or care about. That was not one of them. That being said, this is a play against the Green Bay Packers. Everybody loves the Packers right now, ready to give them the Lombardi Trophy. I have been dating a Packers fan for the last decade. I have watched more Packers games than any other team. I know exactly how this goes down. They've got Dallas on deck, Sunday Night Football. Yes, I did misspeak on Bet On It. Thank you for all of you guys that came to the Bet On It YouTube channel, told me I was wrong. Totally mixed these 2 games up. Next game, Saints. I love this. This is actually the best bet I gave out on Bet On It. This is a Seahawks team. You guys mentioned the kickoff rules with Teddy. That's exactly when this game switched. All of a sudden, the floodgates broke open against the Steelers. Seahawks looked great. Yay, Sam Darnold. I don't know. Thursday night, guess who they have on deck? Divisional rival Cardinals. I know the situational spots are not as prevalent in the NFL as they are in college football. This is still one of those spots where it looks very easy to tease the Packers and very easy to tease the Seahawks. All I'm going to say is buyer beware. I think both of those games are going to come down to the wire.
I'm with you. I'm terrified of taking Seattle and Survivor, and I'm not going to do it.
Everybody's going to. Listen, I know a lot of people played the Bills last night, but I knew at least in a couple of different spots, right? So I'm on Splash, I'm in Circa, I'm in the Westgate 5K, the Grandissimo. If you look at the breakdowns, which are all over social media for free, they're going to be different in each contest because there's a different strategy. Also, are you using Thanksgiving? Are you using Christmas? You know, that's one reason to probably keep saving the Chiefs. You don't want to use them as a road favorite against the Giants. Yes, this is a must-win situation. I can see why people would want to use them, but then playing on both holidays, you've got to be really cautious. Injuries do happen. Crazy things do happen. You don't want to burn up and only have one or two teams remaining for those holiday games.
Dan has said that you should not be allowed to pick the Eagles based on the slander that you.
I was on the Chiefs last week, and guess what happened?
Oh, I watched Kelly and Murray. I'm a fan of Kelly and Murray. I heard what you said about Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Listen, they were pretty insufferable last Sunday. I was really hungover after that 40th birthday party at Epcot that I bitched about going on this show. I just woke up on my couch. And I'm like, okay, send Travis Kelce a fruit basket if you want. Leave me alone. I don't care. Like
I woke up, I was doing my usual scroll, and I see you and Mr. Murray talking about how hard the Eagles are to watch. You're referencing how they're the worst fans. I thought we showed you a pretty good time when you were in Philadelphia, Kelly. I mean, it was for the Navy-Army game, but
Philadelphia for the Army-Navy game.
I know a cheesesteak saved your life more than once, Kelly.
Street in Tampa when I went for the playoff game, and I took my girlfriend who was an Eagles fan, and I made her sit away from me, and I sat in our good friend, the Mad Russian seats right there on the 10-yard line. And it was a great game. She goes, now I know why you made me sit in the nosebleeds. I'm like, because you guys are awful, and I don't want to go to jail.
They are awful. They're a subhuman horde, Kelly, but they're my subhuman horde. They're my subhuman
There we go.
We used to tailgate down at the Colts games, Kelly, and every opposing fan base was great. Like, hey, come over, grab a burger, beer. No, Philly, no. F you. Blah, blah. It's like, do you guys want to come over and have a beer? No, F you. Blah, blah. Like, no, we're trying to make this an enjoyable. No, let's fight. Like, Jesus, Philly, what is wrong with you guys?
I'm telling you, I'm like, I'm not even a Bucks fan. Relax, please. Good grief.
Oh, I got to tell you, I love your Jets pick. I think that's
talk about it because that was an awful pick last week, and everybody was on it. Have you noticed the top 5 in Circa and Super Contest have just been getting crushed the first couple weeks?
Yeah, this is all about the offensive line of Tampa. I was hearing today they're not going to have one person playing their normal position. Like, they're having to move their center to left tackle. That is brutal. They're missing 3 starters, and they're having to move everybody. That is just an absolute nightmare. Give me Baker over his rushing yards, but this is a brutal, brutal game for Tampa. I think that's my favorite.
A couple of the defensive guys, linebackers, didn't practice or had limited practice. You got to kind of look at that stuff. Yeah, are they going to give it a go? Sure, but bad hit here, quick hammy pull there, and next thing you know, those backups are coming on in. When you have those cluster injuries, like you mentioned on the offensive line, that is something to definitely keep an eye on. Also, dare I say it, Tyrod Taylor might be better than Justin Fields, at least as an underdog. On the road in Tampa, it's going to be beautiful weather. It's not going to be that Tampa environment where you're sweating your ass off and you're miserable standing there in the sun. It's not going to be that game. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous football weather. I will say, I already mentioned him once on the show, so I already doxed myself. My boyfriend has both of his Circa Survivors on Tampa, and he told me that last night, and I was like,
oh, wow.
We should not watch the game together. We should not, because I think it's going to be very spicy here down towards the end. Why isn't this 7.5? Why is it 6.5? I want to know why the whole world's going to tease Tampa down to a half. Don't do that, by the way, but they're going to. They're going to do it, and you know it.
Yeah. Tyrod's a tough guy. I mean, hardest hit he's taken was from his team doctor. Never forget his team doctor sabotaged his entire career.
Dr. Chow and I spoke about that a couple of times now.
Yes. All right, Kelly. What do you have to promote? You got tons of shows. Kelly and Murray,
Yeah.
opening line report. What all do you have?
So starting on Monday, I got opening line report with Teddy, KIV, and Crack. If you guys want to hear more Survivor talk, and of course, what Crack's got going on there in Vegas. Of course, we got Kelly and Murray on Thursday nights. And how can you forget the best show? Sorry, Andy, on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. That is Bet on It. We've got College Football Edition. We've got NFL. We've got the Mega Show, which includes Ralph's, TNA, Marco's Sandwiches, and of course, Teddy's Stock Watch, which all of those you can watch singularly on the WagerTalk YouTube channel as well. And both last calls this weekend, I will be hosting for Ariel Epstein. She has a weekend off for her birthday. So you guys can catch me 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, Saturday and Sunday. And then because I already have to work Sunday, which is my only day off, I have elected to go on EndZone Live. It's going to be great because I'm just going to be cheering against everybody else's Survivor pick since I somehow got to survive last night. And I'll take it because that was the easiest Survivor pick I've had thus far. Denver was not fun. Dallas is not fun. Bills were easy peasy in comparison. So I will be on EndZone Live. The Mad Russian, Jeff Petch, and I will be on there cheering for our circa 5 picks, which when Jeff and I agree, it is not great. We're going to leave it at that.
All right, Kelly in Vegas. Can't wait to see you Sunday. It's a blast. Join us live on Sunday. We watch the early games, cheer on some bets. We're going to make a bunch of live bets. So Kelly's going to be on there. Jeff, Dan, the screaming. Throw Prez in there. The screaming on that show is going to be next level.
No, but Kelly will be there to knock Prez down a few pegs. So I think if there's ever going to be a week where Prez gets cut down a few legs, it'll be this
All
week.
right, all right.
So.
Well, that is
Wait,
true.
Kelly, what are you saying back there?
No, I'm saying, hold on. Here's the best part. So ever since I had to record a couple of my own shows and you guys showed me how to use the back end, I don't know how to get out of the production access. So I'll actually be in and I'll be able to mute his mic or I'll be able to take him off the screen.
While the middle he's talking, just do it and he'll think he's messing something up. That'll be great.
It's going to be hilarious. I can't wait. I'm very excited. It's going to be, look, let's make some money and have some fun on Sunday, right?
That's what it's all about. We did great on our live bets. We did fantastic on our live bets.
I was watching. Listen, I might have been in a pit of misery watching the Dallas Cowboys, but I was also subsequently live betting with you guys. It is a very entertaining show to watch if you guys haven't got a chance to check it out yet.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much. We got to do around the world and Survivor picks. Dave, we have too many people that have access to that show and have access to put Gianni Detroit was next level, putting up comments on the screen. It looked like a hamster was running
an
across
ADH
the
kid's
keyboard.
wet dream.
He was loving those comments. So, all right, let's do all around the world here, Dan. Let's do some free picks here. This is a true around the world. We're gonna dig a little bit deep here. Listen, you got to give credit to Drew Martin. He posts this every day on the free picks page. Guardians plus money again. This team has won 7 straight, 12 out of the last 13 games. Minnesota's pretty much given up. They've lost 2 straight, giving up 10 runs in each of those. Their bullpen is taxed, and you're getting the Guardians at plus money. Raiders, Commanders, Jacoby Myers over 5.5 receptions. Here's a good little bit of trivia for your friends. This guy's top 5 in the league in targets with 22. He has 8 and 6 catches in 2 games this season. So give me Jacoby Myers, undervalued guy in the prop market. And then going NASCAR here. Bubba Wallace, top 10. This race is on Sunday. This is a client play. This is one we've already played with our money. He's finished in the top 10 2 out of the last 3 races at New Hampshire. 6 out of the last 9 starts, he's finished in the top 10. This guy's 8th in the playoffs. He's going to be fighting hard to stay inside that top 10. It's a good track for him. So client play, Bubba Wallace to finish in at the top 10. All right, Dan, let's do Survivor. We have survived.
Yes, so this gets to live another week. Let's go.
Absolutely.
My favorite graphic ever gets to live another week.
I love how you didn't even try to blend my face in there.
Nope.
It's just
blah. I got too much shit to do, Andy. I'm not blending necks. You get Gloria Gaynor's hair, and you'll be happy with it.
All right. Well, this was an interesting week. Kelly decided to go with the Bills. You and I said, we'll roll the dice here. We have a bunch of entries, and so one of the entries is mine, one of the entries is Dan, and one of the entries is the biggest favorite of the week that we haven't used, which was the Bills. So they advance. So that entry has used the Broncos, the Ravens, and the Bills. I really hope this goes for a while because I would love this to get to like week 12, and it's like, well, the biggest favorite that we haven't used is the Cardinals at 6-6 because they're 2-point favorites because we've used everybody else. I'll let you go first here. Who'd you were debating between two. You ended up with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was flip-flopping between the disgusting sleeper entry that we have there, which is the Jags and the Chiefs. Initially, I was thinking, do we just go Bills, take it out? We talked that through yesterday, and we're like, hey, maybe next week could also be a crazy week. Maybe that's where you lay it with the Bills. They're going to be, 2 touchdown favorites next week. So I end up landing on the Chiefs here, and it has a lot to do with what Teddy was saying when he was breaking it down with you, is like, this is the Chiefs' spot. You know what I mean? Like, this is either the Chiefs win this game or you're talking about a team who might not even make the playoffs, might not even make a wild card when you're talking about history in the NFL of 0-2 teams, 0-3 teams, and they're facing off against a Giants team who, sure, amazing last week. They took Dallas down to the wire. They made you and I sweat. We had Cowboys as our pick. But guess what happened at the end of the game, Andy? Russell Wilson threw a pick and they lost. And they did that against a team whose backs wasn't quite, up against the wall. And still, it boils down to the fact that last week I said, if I lose in week 2 because the Cowboys are 0-2, I can live with that. If I lose in week 3 because the Kansas City Chiefs, who spent all week long crying about a play that gets a team 1 yard, lose and they're 0-3, I can live with that, Andy. Give me the Chiefs survivor pick this week against the New York Football Giants.
All right. I like how we've proceeded with this one. So I'm going to go with the Falcons. This is, I love what the Falcons did last week. It was a team that they should have beaten, and they did, and they committed to the run. Now they play a Panthers team that gives up 5.2 yards per carry. This is a Panthers team that only gets 4.4 yards per play. So this Panthers team gets 4.4 yards per play, passing and rushing, and they give up 5.2 just in rushing. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Bijan and Tyler Algier are going to run absolutely wild. Falcons defense does look better than I thought, and I don't know how many more spots I'm going to get to take the Falcons this year, but this Panthers team is absolute fade material. So I'm gonna go with the Falcons this week, and you and I are gonna be sitting pretty good if you've got Broncos, Cowboys, and Chiefs, and I've got Cardinals, Cowboys, and Falcons. I like where we're at.
This is where we risk it. This is where, because you take the Bills and then next week you lose, you're in the same spot that you were right here. So you know what I mean? In chaos week, embrace the chaos, and we will survive, Andy. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood.
Let's do it. All right, guys.
And big thanks. I just got one more thing. Big thanks. We got Adrian saying he's loving the show. We do a Circa Millions show each and every week. Me and my man Adam Rosenberg, a.k.a. Berg. You can check that out. It's called Let's Make Millions. It's live right now. We greatly appreciate if, the 2,300 of you plus go over, check out that show. 5 free picks, our 5 free Circa Millions picks that we make with spreads, PFF stuff. We have, trends that we throw in there. So it's a fun show, laid back. You hear me swear a lot. It's a fun show, Andy. So check it out. Let's Make Millions on the WagerTalk TV YouTube channel.
Strong avatar game from Adrian there.
It is really good. It is really good.
Good avatar. I like that.
And it's funny because Adrian mentions, you need to bring Bird and Rochelle into the fold. Check out Rochelle on some of our sister channels. Announcement coming about that pretty soon, Adrian. So there might just be something there for you, brother. So Andy, great football Friday, buddy. Good luck this weekend, man.
Let's do it. Props pack is up. College football team totals up. WT.buzz/AL. Use the Weekend Warrior on any handicapper on WagerTalk.com. Get you all football plays for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Let's have a big weekend, guys. Let's build those bankrolls up. Good luck on all your plays. Let's bet responsibly. We'll do it again Monday. Take care.